Does it bother you that everything that happens to you is because of the vibrational content that you are offering? Do you loathe that responsibility? We want you to welcome it, to be glad about it. And the better you get at intending and then seeing the evidence of what you've intended, then the better you'll get at, or the more you'll want to be a pointer.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I am filled with immense love and gratitude and joy for you, for Abraham.
We're not giving you a Kleenex, so
I'm good. I am here. I love your rampages. I'm here to rampage about how beautiful my life is since I've been exposed to the teachings of Abraham, how much everything has shifted, how I believe in the possibility, the unlimited possibilities around me, how I'm little by little learning to resist less and allow more.
Good.
Through the joy and the clarity and the teachings and the constant exposure.
Yeah.
So I'm here just for a tune-up.
And you're doing it on purpose. Well, the only tune-up that we want to give you, you said allowing possibilities. Your assignment from us, given what we talked about here, is to turn the possibilities into certainty. Just through stubbornly sticking to your intention. Because the more often you speak about what you want, the more you'll be aware. We said in a seminar 2 weeks ago, it was the last words of the seminar. All you got to do is point at what you want and don't point in opposition. And the crowd had been listening long enough that that really resonated, and it was what was ringing in Esther's head as she got off the stage. And she put on her shoes, and as she was making her way back to her sleeping room, she was thinking, that is the simplest, easiest, obvious thing I have ever heard. I wonder why I don't do it more. And then she laughed at herself as in the middle of her acknowledgement of how easy that was, she offered a contrary statement. And then she said, I'm going to do this. I'm really going to do this. That's all that it takes. All I got to do is just point at what I want. And I'm clear about what I want. And it's easy to get what I want. And man, why didn't I hear that sooner? For several days, she caught herself, wait for it, hundreds of times a day, pointing that way and then that way. Because life experience is about calibrating. It's about collecting the data. And the reason that we're telling you this story is because this is what molding the clay is. Consideration. You have to consider in order to decide. And if you don't have things to compare, there can be no consideration. There can be no conclusion. There can be no decision. So don't be mad at yourself for consideration. Consideration is necessary. So what we're asking you to do is to be aware of how you feel so that in your consideration, you're always leaning in the direction of wanted. A lot of you are still beating up on yourself that you've been listening for a while and you still don't have that or that or that or that or that. You write letters like, what's going wrong? What am I doing wrong? You're not doing anything wrong at all. But you could clean up your arrows. You could clean them up. But most of all, you could not be mad at yourself for having some opposite thoughts. Now, stay with us because this is an important thing. We're out here on the leading edge. We want you to hear this. We've not talked about this in this way before. Everything, including your relationship with your inner being, everything is a comparative experience. Otherwise, you would not be having an experience. You couldn't be focusing anything. You couldn't take a picture if there were not light and dark in juxtaposition with one another. And so, if you are a decider, you want data from which to decide. You want things to consider. So, can you say, from this little stretch of phrases that we just offered there, that contrast, therefore, is helpful?
Contrast is awesome in that context.
And that is the context of contrast.
That's what it's all about.
It's awesome. It's comparative. Because you can't choose without some. Now this is the piece that we want you to get to before you leave this room today. We want you to accept the eternal nature of your being and the imperfection, meaning not finishedness, that you are always being. There's no end place for you to achieve, because every place you stand brings new variety from which to choose. And that's why you are eternal. So therefore, don't you think that it's time for you to stop talking smack about yourself or anybody else about where you are, since you're not finished? You used to say, I didn't think we'd end up here. And Jerry'd say, we haven't ended up. We haven't ended up. The question is where I am interesting? Is it fun? Is it calling me? Those are the questions that you want to ask, you see. So this is exactly how it works. You sift and sort, and sometimes you're mean to yourself and sometimes you're nice to yourself. Sometimes you're mean to others and sometimes you're nice to yourself. And you can tell by the way you feel what your inner being is doing. But in all of that, you are launching rockets of desire. You're pointing. You're pointing, even not knowing you're pointing, at a vibrational place where your inner being stands is the wrong word. Exists is a better word. Exists in awareness of what you have just pointed in that direction. And in fact, your inner being just became more because of what you pointed that away. And now your inner being, in all of its non-resistance, which is to say, in all of its clarity and purity and godliness, stands holding the you that you've just launched over there, even though you didn't go with it, because you're still caught up in whatever it is that caused you to ask for it. But your inner being felt it, knows it, absorbs it, and is it. And the law of attraction is now responding to your inner being's version of you. Now those are rough words, your inner being's version of you. But go with it. Your inner being's version of you is a powerful point of attraction. And that's why once you've asked for it, if you don't point that way, you don't feel good. You cannot talk in opposition to a desire. If you really want to get in trouble with your kids, your mate, your boss, or anyone, talk in opposition to something you know they want. You will not win against their inner being, who is calling them with all of the forces of infinite intelligence. The energy that creates worlds is summoning to you. And so, once you get the hang of that, you'll become a more consistent pointer, and you'll find yourself feeling a lot better. That's the first manifestation. But the next thing that happens is that all kinds of evidences come to you, sometime in the form of an idea. Sometimes someone you don't even know will say something that you've been thinking about. Sometimes you'll turn the television on just at the moment that you'll hear something that you've been wondering about. Your timing, this is what we want you to hear. Your timing and awareness that you are meeting up with something that is a piece of the unfolding wonderfulness of your life will start occurring to you. And this is why we want that to happen to you, and we want you to be aware of that. You're never going to get it done, and you're never going to stop asking for more. Therefore, there's never going to be a time in all of your eternity where everything that you've ever wanted will be manifested all at once. You're always going to be asking and receiving more, asking and receiving more. Jerry used to say, you're growing or you're dying. He could feel that there was always expansion going on. And if you're not going along with the expansion, then your orneriness is about that and about nothing else. Helpful?
Extremely helpful.
If you like this video, don't forget to subscribe, and see you in the next